Okay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Deep Ministry Live, where we read the Christ letters. We are on letter 6, and tonight's topic will be about meditation, how to meditate. Um, I am excited about this topic, as I am excited about all the topics we read um, in the Christ letters. It's been an eye-opening. Please check out my other series last week was great. It talked about sin. That what we call sin is just the our personality. It's just our ego, and it doesn't go any further than here. It doesn't go any further. So check out my videos. I try to post clips on this topic that we cover on the Christ letters. So um, my subscribers and even those who don't subscribe could get an idea what the Christ letters are about. And if you could check out, there's a PDF version online, and also there are other people on YouTube who are reading the Christ letters also. So it's an enlightenment. It's an enlightenment. And if you find my channel, you're on that path to understand Christ's ministry, why Christ came. Okay. Okay. Let's get into it. Let's get into tonight's topic. All right, so here we are. As I mentioned before, tonight's topic is about how to meditate, not by me. I am so thankful for that. Um, I think I did a few videos based on my experience with meditation. It is beautiful, but this is from Christ, the Christ consciousness. You call him Jesus, and this is his way. As there in the scripture, it gives us a prayer like how to pray. This is how to meditate from Christ. Okay, so the first paragraph I'm going to read is just a recap of what we read last week, and then we go into how to meditate. He said, I am describing for you the rewards which await you when you have struggled and dealt with the magnetic emotional bondage of attraction, bonding, rejection, and repulsion. And that's these magnetic bond, attraction, bonding, rejection, repulsion. That's just our ego. That's just our personality. It's just what we call flesh. It is these which initially give you individuality, but which become fetters of the soul, and from which you must break free in order to get off the treadmill. And so, yes, our ego, we call it flesh or personality, was given to us by our individuality as an as part of our individuality. But it wasn't intentioned for us to think that's only who we are and totally ignored our soul. So the goal was for us, as Christ showed us in his earthly ministry, that it's for us to overcome this personality, what we call the flesh, what we called our emotions, what we called our ego, and try to find our soul. That's our divine self. That's the who we really are. And I like the word feathers. There's a song, I Can Break Every Fetters. One of my sisters sing that song. And fetters are the things that come against your divinity. Fetters are your egotistical selves, the me, the I, the materialistic world that hinder us from finding ourselves. So we need to break free in order to get off that treadmill. Just imagine us on that treadmill, walking, and not getting to our destination. This treadmill is the span of your present human life, continually turning, continually bearing you into experiences you do not enjoy. When at last you are able to transcend in spirit your magnetic emotional reactions to life, the treadmill will begin to slow down. And then suddenly you will find that you are almost stationary and you will begin to experience a beautiful quality of life I have described above. And that's our main goal. That's the reason why we're here to for us to experience life. For long, have a beautiful, wonderful life. For so long, they have been telling us that when we go to heaven, we'll enjoy life. No, it's for us to enjoy here and now. Would that I could remove this burden imposed on you by your earthly humanhood. I know you're suffering. This is Christ talking about. Let me start over again. He said, would that I would remove this burden imposed on you by your earthly humanhood. I know you're suffering, your times of despair, your grief in the lonely night, your hours of mental and emotional turmoil. As I descend into your consciousness frequencies to transmit my messages and to understand what needs to be said to you, I become aware of your earthly conditions. And these words are my response to your most urgent needs for relief and healing. So these words, these Christ letters, are a way of Christ responding to the many prayers, the many despair, the many things we go through in this realm. This is his way of communicating with us through these letters. And if you read these letters, it will help us understand who we are. We're not going to get over our situations until we understand self, until we understand our divine purpose, until we know who we are. Okay? Do not doubt these words are from me. Take comfort from them and know that as you study these words, they will, in time, bring you deep illumination with your soul, which will bring about the longed for changes in your life and self. This is the only way. This is the only way we're going to have changes in our lives is to understand self, is to understand that divine aspect of us that we have totally ignored in this materialistic world. So this is the way Christ is helping us. Okay? This is the way he's helping us. When you meditate, oh, how to meditate. Let me highlight this so I'll remember where I saw it. How to meditate. So many people have questions on how do I meditate? I can't do it right. How do I do it? Let's hear Christ give us an idea how to meditate. When you meditate, take up the position which is most comfortable to you. You do not have to go into physical contortions. Rest and relax. So a lot of us are used to seeing the Buddhists, how they meditate, the Buddha, how they meditate. If that's comfortable, yeah. For some of us who are not any contortionists, I just like to sit. I don't know. I think it's to meditate sitting on the floor. I don't know if it's about grounding. That's really, but you could meditate laying down, even in your bed. You can meditate. But my preference is just sitting on the floor. I don't know. I know. I'm from the islands. I love being barefoot outside, but I love that position on the floor. Get a, um, and they don't call it meditation mat. It's that exercise mat. Put it down, and you can lay on the floor, sit on the floor. I just think I just like being personally like sitting on the floor when I meditate. But I like meditating when I'm laying down. The problem is that when I'm laying down and meditate, sometimes I'll fall asleep because the goal of meditation is to see that divine realm consciously. And when I'll meditate, I'll see the beginning, and somehow I'll just fall asleep. But sometimes I don't, especially in the mornings. If you just wake up and you close your eyes and you meditate in the mornings, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful. You could do it consciously that time. All right. Let me start over since I interrupted. When you meditate, take up the position which is most comfortable to you. You do not have to go into physical contortions. Rest and relax. Tell yourself to relax and release all your limbs, including your head, neck, face, into a state of utter limpness. Remember that. Release all your limbs. Just like you give, you have, not that you don't have any control, but you just like, oh, release your limbs, your mind, your head, your neck. Let it just fall. Relax. Relax when you're beginning to meditate. I must impress on you that meditation should be eventually as simple as slipping into slumber. The purpose of meditation is to enable your entire consciousness to move beyond the boundaries of intellect and reason. There are teachers who will tell you to imagine whatever you are told to imagine. You can rest assured you are not being assisted to go anywhere except into a new imaginative realms of your own thought process. What this method of meditating will achieve for you will be a relief from the thoughts and stress that your ego pressure are creating for you. In the world of imagination, the ego may or may not be dominant. And it mentions imagination, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's imagination because what I see in meditation is nothing that I could um, think of by myself. And maybe we're misinterpreting what the word imagination means. Nothing would come in my mind, what I see in there, just the flow, just the movement, just the things you see. Um, it just convince you, it's a convince that everything is not logical. Imagine you could close your eyes and have those experience in the spiritual realm, and nothing, you just allow yourself to be taken there, and the goal is just to quiet your thoughts and and your thoughts, and just allow, and the ego and the muscle and the bustle and the thinking of the materialistic world, and just relax, and and go into the spiritual realm. Okay. Before, let me highlight this. Because it's important. Before commencing meditation, prepare by fully realizing that you are about to make contact with divine consciousness, both within and transcendent to your consciousness. Therefore, it is also out there and around you. Visualize exactly what this means. So, before you begin to meditate, you prepare that you're gonna come in contact with your divine self, your divine consciousness, that spiritual aspect of you. And are you excited? Both within and transcendent to your, and it transcends our consciousness. That means it's bigger than what my mind could even ask or think. So just that's what you, so you have to have a expectation of what you think is going to happen. You're going to come into the divine um, consciousness, and both within the one, it's within you, it transcends you, it's around you, um, and it's just everywhere, that divine consciousness. And we have totally ignored it. Okay. So before commencing meditation, prepare and be fully real and be fully prepare by fully realizing you are about to make contact with divine consciousness, both within and transcendent to your consciousness. And it's going to transcend your consciousness. Therefore, it is also out there and around you. You see what it calls? I know if you hear someone call God it, you might be like, it, yeah, it's God. There's no words that can describe what God is. There's no words, there's no pronoun. But it is also out there and around you. Visualize exactly what this means. Remember at all times that what you think about is what you are tuning into. Your thoughts are searchlights making contact with what you seek. Remember that every thought has its own frequency of vibrations in consciousness. Believe, know this, for this is true. The more spiritual the thought, the higher the frequencies of vibration. Consciousness forms embodied by words are not visible, but are specific entities of beings. Your thought is a being. Has consciousness. They have the life of consciousness within them. They are magnetized to like consciousness forms. Like is drawn to like. Think, dog, and visualize what you mean, and your thoughts are attuned to the dog species. And your thoughts are attuned to the dog species. So let me just go back here, that when I'm in meditation, I try not to do much thinking. But I hear people say, let your mind think, because I want to experience what I'm seeing without my fears, because it says what we're going to see transcend our consciousness. That it means that we can't fathom what the spiritual realm looks like. So I want to fully have an experience when I meditate that I try to quiet my thoughts. I know it's an experience. It's really hard. I just said be present, be present, be present. It does not always work, but here Christ is saying, just watch what you're thinking when you're meditating. It is not telling you to quiet your thoughts. Just what you're thinking, because everything has a vibration to it. And if your thoughts are in lower vibration, if you're going think in there thinking negative, it says like affect like. And I do a lot of videos talking about how powerful our thoughts are, because they too have a form of God in them. They don't have a physical body that we do. They will accomplish whatever you're thinking about. So make sure your thoughts are not materialistic, not egotistical, not too fleshy. Make sure your thoughts are high vibrational. You're thinking about good things. You're thinking about change in the world. Just let your thoughts think about what you would like to see in your vibration. Don't worry about anyone around you or anything you've been through the day or the next day. Just make your thoughts be at vibrational when you're meditating. So your thoughts are searchlight making contact with what you seek. Remember that every thought has its own frequencies of vibration in consciousness. Yes, I just mentioned that. Believe. No, this is true. The more spiritual the thought, the higher the frequencies of vibration. Consciousness forms. That's your thoughts. Embodied by words are not visible, but are specific entities of being. That's the devil. That's your devil that you talk about. It's your thoughts, it's your negative thoughts. They have the life of consciousness within them. They are magnetized to like consciousness forms. Like is drawn to like. Just like how you think about a dog and you visualize what you mean, and your thoughts are attuned to the dog species. Think universal consciousness or divine life with understanding of what you mean, and your thoughts will be directed into universal consciousness and divine life. So these are the things you think about when you're meditating. That's all it's saying. Don't think about, oh, mean Miss Jane was to you today. Um, oh, you're going to give somebody a piece of your mind. Just think about things that we hear that we have no understanding of. And I think Christ, maybe I'll go into here, and you could bring questions into your meditation. And something happened in meditation to me that I didn't expect is like, it seems as if your ancestors come in there somehow. That just proves to you everyone is energy. I could hear voices. You hear talking during meditation. These are things you have to ignore. You hear voices. If you fully understand all that I'm trying to tell you, you will know that your meditation reaches its target. Know this, and you will find your faith strengthening. Your faith remains weak because you only hope or wish or magnetically want to tune into life consciousness because you hope you will derive some benefit from the exercise. Okay. Yeah. So this is just saying, when you meditate, no No, we talk about the high vibrational thoughts, tap into universal consciousness, divine life, your soul. I'll ask my soul, my higher self, to guide me in my meditation. You could ask Christ. You could call on the Christ consciousness to help you during your meditation. Universal consciousness, that's what we would call source. That's what we would call God, Jehovah, and that to guide you. If you, when you're going to meditation, these are the things you should be thinking about. Um, what's universal conscious? Let your thoughts. Oh, if you're calling God, what's God? What's spirit? Let those are the things you should be in your thoughts. And know this, and you will find your faith strengthening. Your faith remains weak. You because you only hope or wish or magnetically want to tune into life consciousness because you hope you will derive some benefit from the exercise. And hoping and wishing, that's another thing. But it's on our indoctrination. We want to meditate because we want to ask for things. We have some needs. Um, the more you meditate, it helps your faith, it helps your spirituality, it helps you draw more to the spiritual realm. And that's what they call raising your consciousness, vibrational energy, which in turn will attract more things that you'll need in life, things you need in life. We have to understand that this materialistic world, you have power over this materialistic world. We have to get out of the mindset that we're poor, that we're in lack, that we're sick. We have to get out of that mindset. We have to understand who we are. And when you meditate, that will increase your faith. That will increase your faith. Hey sis, how are you? It is the infinitely powerful reality everywhere present. Oh no. Do you see how earthly is such an approach to that which gave you being? It is reverent. Does it befit a person who is seeking true contact and expects to do so? Whilst infinite universal consciousness is not the mythical God on high as depicted in the Old Testament. Yep. And yeah, it will give you what have an idea what God is. It's just there. Right now it's in every space around us, in us, everywhere, everywhere. We don't have to go anywhere specific to experience it. It's everywhere. Okay, do you not see how earthly is such an approach to that which gave you being? Is it reverent? Does it befit a person who is seeking true contact and expects to do so? Whilst infinite universal conscious is not the mythical God on high as depicted in the Old Testament, it is infinitely powerful reality everywhere present, manifesting its own designing, intelligent, evolutionary, loving, caring for all that it has brought into being. This is what God is basically. It's telling you this explain what God is. You could call it consciousness. You could call it electromagnetism. Um, just everywhere, just everywhere, in us, outside of us, everywhere. That energy, you could call it energy, source. This is what's describing our Creator, the source of our being. You call him Jehovah, Yahweh, God. This is what he is. It is the infinitely powerful reality everywhere present, manifesting its own designing intelligent, evolutionary, loving, caring for all that it has brought into being. That's what describe. That's what, if you want to know what God means, this is it. This is it. This is what you must realize you will eventually approach whilst you are still on earth. When you reach the highest dimension after your magnetic emotions have been dissolved, not only from your mind, but also from your subconsciousness, from your subconscious and your solar plexus. And your solar plexus. Please, everyone, if you hear this message, Google where your solar plexus is. Google where your solar plexus. That's your inside sun. That's within, so without. Your inner sun, your inner sun. Mm. Okay, this is what you must realize you will eventually approach whilst you are still on earth. While you are still on earth, not after you die. When you reach the highest dimensions after your magnetic emotions, that's your ego, that's your personality, that's what Paul calls flesh, have been dissolved. Not only from your mind, but also from your subconscious and solar plexus. So we're going to experience this infinite, powerful reality, and we are supposed to ascend while we're in this physical world. And the magnetic emotional bonding rejection, that personality aspect of us, that um remember, we can't get rid of it totally, but it has to be um overcome. It has to be subdued. All this emotionally bonding and all that, that's just your flesh, your materialistic thinking, your self thinking, me, our self thinking, that has to be subdued. And one of the way that can be subdued is by meditation. Every time you come into contact with that divine, that spiritual realm, that divine consciousness, you raise your vibration. We have to raise our vibration. And then you become more conscious, you become more aware of the spiritual realm. That's why we're here. This bonding today, we're happy tomorrow, and emotional rejection and all this aspect of ourselves, this program that we came into this world. We have to, we're leaving. It's like we came into this world, and we get all this. We're leaving this world. And the older we need to drop it. We need to drop it. We have to come into the knowledge of who we are, because this This is what we see in the mirror is not who we are. We are divine soul. There's a divine aspect of us. Someone says, what we are, our internal, what's going inside is what goes on outside. And we're being upset with what our reflection is showing us. Whatever the struggles and whatever the happiness, the struggles, we find, wherever we find ourselves at the time of this message, it's because of what's going on inside of us, the chaos, the unbalance, the not knowing self, the not having that aspect of your divinity is causing all what we're experiencing. And we're out here, um it's like we look in the mirror, and the shadow, we're so in the shadow than working, we're working on the shadow than working on the things, that's the true things that can change the shadow. When the internal aspect of us change, then the external of a aspect of us will change also. So we have to remember that. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I talked about, if you watch my videos, I talk about the subconsciousness, the subconscious. You have to reprogram our subconscious because it was programmed and telling us, oh, what we see in the mirror. God is upstairs with a pie in the sky, and Jesus coming to get us. And it's my mother, it's the government, it's all that. That's programmed in our subconscious. Now we have to reprogram that. That's why becoming a little child, we have to go learn the correct things. When we came into this world, we have idea, but the idea, we grow up and we were programmed into these things. So now you got to program, you got to program your subconscious. And last week we spoke about affirmations. Learn some affirmations. There's a lot of them. The one I like is I am responsible. Learn affirmations that help reprogram your subconscious mind. That's your mother. That's her. She just sits there, and she takes, whatever you give to her. She don't ask any question. So when you're there spilling bile, talking about other people and all of that, she's just there accepting it. Think you're talking about yourself. And she's the creator, and she's going to create that for you. The goal is to allow our soul, the divine aspect of ourselves, to program our subconscious mind. That's the goal. The I am, to program our subconscious mind, not the things of this, not this materialistic world, not our ego, not our flesh, to program our subconscious mind. Okay, so yeah, so when we do all these things, it's just raising our, expanding our consciousness, what we're conscious about right now. For some of us have an idea, some of us don't. You know, some of us don't. First of all, you will be getting in touch with Father, Mother, Divine Life, which is ever active within your entire system and the universe. Remember, it is in equilibrium within the infinite universal dimension and active within the world. You don't have to go anywhere to find God. You don't have to go in a corner. You don't have to go to a building. You're in your house, your God is around you everywhere. We have to understand that it's not a man somewhere that depicting a man and all that. No. Father activity sets the goal. Mother love directs the way the plans will be developed to promote the highest good of that which is being adapted or healed or protected. And father act, you might see a father activity. It's masculine, feminine, electricity, magnetism. They use these words interchangeably. So you could say Father, Mother God, electromagnetism, masculine, feminine. It's just the way the universe works. All right. All right. So he says, Father, as I just mentioned earlier, the I am, Father, he sets the goals. And Mother Love, I just tell you about the conscious and the subconscious. Mother Love, she do the directing. She does the forming. She does the forming. Okay. And she does everything. Okay, so that's when your subconscious is listening to the I am, the divine aspect of ourselves. Okay. So countless people will say that these statements above are all imagination. They can scoff at the as they will. Those who manage to make contact with Father, Mother, life consciousness, another name for divine life consciousness, but denoting its double qualities, will verify that the foregoing is an accurate description of spiritual evolution which followed such contact to return which follows such contact to return to your meditation. Oh no, which follows, that's a different sentence. Yeah. So if you want to say this is just imagination, I think life is just imagination. Life is imagination. It's not, it's that simple. It's that simple. Okay. To return to your meditation, first of all, before attempting to enter your meditative state, memorize the following prayer so that the words become your own. When you have become perfectly relaxed, start your meditation with this prayer. Say it slowly and visualize the meaning of each word to enable you to enter into the consciousness of the word and enable the energy consciousness of the word to enter into your deepest self. As you say this prayer, your eyes should be closed and your gaze lifted towards your forehead. Okay. So we get the prayer from um how to pray. Now we're gonna get the prayer um for how to meditate before you start meditating. And remember, it says close your eyes and lift your eyes up to your forehead and think about each word. Remember, these words have by vibration, they have consciousness, and let that energy of each word just flows through your body. Okay? All right. Let's say this prayer. Father, Mother, Life. You are my life, my constant support, my health, my protection, my perfect fulfillment of every need, and my highest inspiration. I ask you to reveal the true reality of yourself to me. I know it's your will that I shall be fully illuminated, that I may be better receive awareness of your presence within and around me. I believe and know that this is possible. I believe that you protect and maintain me within perfect love. I know that my eventual purpose is to express you. As I speak to you, I know that you are perfectly receptive of me. You are universal loving intelligence, which has so marvelously designed this world and brought it into visible form. I know that as I ask you to speak to me, I am sending you out a consciousness searchlight into your divine consciousness. And as I listen, you will be penetrating, you will be penetrating my human consciousness and coming ever closer to my increasingly receptive mind and heart. I commit myself and my life into your care. So, this is the prayer we say before we meditate. Each time you say and visualize this prayer, you create a spiritual consciousness form which will become stronger and ever more elevated in frequencies of vibration as the true meaning of the prayer deepens in your mind and heart and your perceptions heightened. After the prayer, relax ever deeper and let your mind go as blank as you can. If thoughts intrude, gently recite divine life or Father Mother life to yourself and again quieten your mind. After many months of sincere meditation, you may come to feel that your body is suddenly jerking, like a person entering sleep and then suddenly waking up. If this happens, be thankful as your consciousness is penetrating the barriers of your previously created consciousness forces and encapsulating your soul. When you feel yourself entering into a when you feel yourself entering a different deep state of consciousness, so deep you are barely breathing, you know that you are beginning to attain your goal. At the end of your meditation, always give glad and grateful thanks. Remember that nothing you can think, say, or do can in any way reduce all that Father Mother Life consciousness is. However, any disbelief, any disbelief will form a barrier between you and Father Mother Life. Yes, I love this. And if you just join us, we are talking about how to meditate. It is very important to learn how to meditate because you tap into the spiritual realm. And I like how you explained how you know when you are meditating. First thing you feel your body jerk, and I talked about earlier about quieting your thoughts, and that's me and my sister talk about all the time, the thoughts always intruding. So after the prayer, let me highlight right here. After the prayer and you relax and you go into your deep mind, if thoughts try to make your mind go blank because you're having a you don't want your experience to be like, did I see that or it's my mind? You don't want that. And it's not you, and most of us who have tried to meditate know that it's not easy to quiet our mind. It is not easy to quiet our mind. So after the prayer, relax ever deeper and let your mind go as blank as you can. If thoughts intrude, gentle recite. All you have to say if those thoughts come, divine life, or you can say Father, Mother life. Those two words. Or you could just either one you could say. Divine life or Father, Mother life to yourself, and again quieten your mind. So this is a good hack because I have probably quieted my mind. I want to warn you. When you are trying to still your mind and thoughts, you may feel ill, at ease, physically uncomfortable, and even distressed. This is because initially you will come up against the black wall of your consciousness, and this can be extremely disconcerting, even painful, and I can attest to this. When you decide to meditate, all of sudden you could feel like there's someone a needle sticking you somewhere, and you're sticking all over your pain. This is hurting you, and this is hurting you. Just sit there and totally ignore it. Oh, I say sit there and totally ignore it. But Christ says, bless the experience and ask Father Life to penetrate your consciousness next time you listen. Next time you listen, then get up and put the experience behind you. When you find that you are at last entering into the silence, then rest e- equably, knowing that you have now entered what what one might call the Holy of Holies, because at last you are achieving contact with Father Mother Life within you. It will take time for this highly spiritual experience of the silence to become a daily routine. Okay. Mm, yes. Let me highlight this. Remember, you have a lifetime of ego baggage to discard and dissolve. And that's what's happening when you meditate. You're trying to get over ego. We have a lot of ego baggage to discard. Yeah. Awesome prayers, yes. So remember, you have a lifetime of ego baggage to discard and dissolve. No matter what no matter what you sense are aware of during your meditation, when you come out of it, expect to sense a difference in your life. You do. Remember that expectation is a consciousness form, and as you expect, you are opening the way for that which you expect to be magnetized into your experience. Whatever it may be, whatever it may be, you are needing or dealing with. Mm, yeah. You feel good when, especially when you feel like you enter the holiest of holiest after you meditate. Okay? If you do not feel any new lightness of spirit despite your sincere expectation, do not deny changes or doubt the possibility of them. Remember, your consciousness is electromagnetic, of the same substance of your physical body, and it is the foundation of all experiences in your life. Continue to expect. As you do so, you are building up the power, the energy of your expectation consciousness forms, which will draw to themselves the manifestation of all that you are expecting. Okay, so if you meditate and you'll be like, you know what, deep ministry, I meditate and I got up, I don't feel like that. Well, Christ is, I didn't feel like that I achieved anything. And I do that sometimes. I get up after I meditate. Um, it seems as if I didn't achieve anything. But as it says, we're electromagnetic beings and our thoughts are electromagnetic. Continue to have expectation. Don't be doubtful. Don't be thinking this is not working. Just continue on that same path. Continue um, to have an expectation that this I've worked, because you're not gonna only feel it in your body, you're gonna start seeing the changes in your life. Wow, after you meditate. Okay, so I'm gonna read this one more time. If you do not feel any new lightness of spirit despite your sincere expectation, do not deny changes or doubt the possibility of them. Remember, your consciousness is electromagnetic, of the same substance of your physical body, and it is the foundation of all experiences in your life. Continue to expect as you do, so you are building up the power, the energy of your expectation, your energy of your expectations. Consciousness forms which will draw to themselves the manifestation of all you are expecting. Father, Mother Life consciousness can only be magnetized into your individual consciousness by faith. Sincere expectancy and the willingness to open yourself to the cleansing of your magnetic emotional bonding rejection impulses. And if you listen, all that I'm saying is ego, personality, materialistic mind. All right. Remember, by faith. Remember, faith is the currency of the spiritual realm. When someone says faith, just know that you know that it's going to work. So I have to read this tiny paragraph one more time. Father, Mother Life consciousness can only be magnetized into your individual consciousness by faith, sincere expectancy. So you have to have an expectation that it works, and the willingness to open yourself to the cleansing of your egotistical mind, of your fleshy mind, of your materialistic mind. Father, Mother Life consciousness can only be magnetized in your life. I said in your life, but it says in your individualized consciousness by faith, sincere expectancy, and the willingness to open yourself to the cleansing of your magnetic emotional bonding rejection impulses. So you have to do the work. This is the time we're in. Self need, you work on yourself. We've been worrying about other people's opinion, worrying about everybody. It's time to work on ourselves. And all that extra work that we were taught to do. No. You have faith, you meditate, you expect that when you meditate, change is going to take place. And it will, no doubt. Do not doubt. If you want to change, that's if you want to let go of this world, if you want your life to change, to be changed. There's no easy way. There's no easy way. How many of you presently go into meditation in this way and come out expecting changes? How many lose heart? How many lose heart when they have felt some change and then something, or then nothing for a little while? Bear in mind that I told you that you are subject to rhythms of high and low. Tell me about it. We have highs and lows. We're not going to be in all this jolly good. It depends on what is going on in the universe, too. It's not always what's going on in your life. Watch high days, high vibrational days, equinoxes. Watch those days and see how your energy is high. We have highs and lows. We go through highs and lows emotionally. And it's normal. Rhythm, the law of rhythm. Okay? All right. How many lose heart when they have felt some change and then something? No. How many lose heart and then when they have felt some change and then nothing for a little while? Bear in mind that I told you that you are subject to rhythms of high and low. When you are in your lows, the flow of divine life in your system is dropped, and the frequencies of vibration of your consciousness also drop. I was in real low vibration the other day. Real low. Yeah, this is true. And you become blind when this happens, when your vibration is low. When your vibration, I don't know how we've managed without the direction of our divine self, of Father, Mother, God. You know, yeah. When you're in your low vibration, mm, nothing. You can't hear nothing. You don't. It's like you can't. You're so far from your divine self. It's like you're on your own. Okay. Consequently, contact with Father, Mother Life consciousness during these times at the beginning of your search is almost impossible. In the early days of your seeking truth, during your meditation, you are very in touch with your subconscious, and you will find that there is an irritating resurgence of all the old negative thoughts and memories you had thought you had overcome. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about it. This is truth. When you enter your highs, you will find a resurgence of your spiritual self and will rejoice in this. Your meditations will be more positive and productive of contact with Father, Mother, life consciousness. If you will Father, Mother Life, consciousness. I mean, if you will have the courage to persist and exercise self discipline during the low times as well as the good, you will find eventually that the lows will get less low and any form of depression will be lifted. Will be lifted. Yes, we have to try to be strong during our low times. We have to. When you enter highs, you will find a resurgence of your spiritual self and will rejoice in this. Your meditation will be more positive and productive of contact with Father, Mother, Life consciousness. If you will have the courage to persist and exercise self discipline during the low times as well as the good as well as good, you will find eventually that the lows will get less low and any form of depression will be lifted. Remember that each time of prayerful consciousness brings you closer to your goal, although you may remain completely unaware of this. Nonetheless, things are happening for your ultimate good. Believe in them. When on earth I said, I have come to give you freedom, I have come to bring you life more abundant. Yes, he did say that. Yes, he did say that. Christ did say this. Life more abundant. And they think, oh, because God, Christ died on the cross. No, the knowledge of self, that's what gives us life more abundant. the knowledge of faith, the knowledge of who we are. The secret of your tiredness, exhaustion, inconsistency, instability, fear, despair, depression lies in your magnetic emotional bonding rejection responses to life and the subconscious patterns which sometimes take over and project you into situations you never intended to create. Because of these natural impulses of individuality, you are certainly not free. You are under the control of the magnetic emotional bondage, both in your conscious and subconscious mind. You live in the grip of the ego, which has given you individuality and bound you in fetters of emotional responses to life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like this word fetters. Yes. Yeah, by faith you will know, sis. By faith. Yeah, I like this word fetters. Our ego fetters. Those are the our ego, the fetters are the things our ego gets us in. We gotta what the ego bondage. That's what calling the ego fetters. So now we understand the secrets of it's not the devil. It's not the devil. It's not nothing outside of you. You know, we always have to say that, right, sis? It's nothing outside of us that's causing these things in our lives. It's always it's our ego. You call that ego flesh. You call it's your personality. It's what we were given for our individuality when we as an to give us individuality when we came into this earth. These are the things that cause us this these things mentioned the secret of our tiredness, exhaustion, inconsistency, instability, our fear. Fear is the biggest one. Our despair, depression, lies in your magnetic. When I say magnetic, emotional, magnetic means fleshy, egotistical, bonding, rejection, responses to life, and the subconscious patterns, which sometimes take over and project you into situations you never intended to create. Remember what is happening to our subconscious is that our ego, this materialistic world, this fleshy world, is programming our subconscious. Whatever it goes on in this world, they're programming our subconscious mind. That's all they're doing because your subconscious just receive, 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 and then it creates it into a reality. It doesn't ask who, where, or when. If you're projecting low vibrational energy, that's what your subconscious mind gives to you. That's what your subconscious mind gives to you. So now when Christ said you have to become a little child, that means you have to reprogram your subconscious mind. And you can only do that by becoming knowledge of your divine self, meditation, affirmations, prayer. I think you mentioned prayer earlier to reprogram your subconscious mind. That's why we're here. So, because of these natural impulses of individuality, so they were given to us by Father, Mother, God for individuality. They are a natural aspect of us but they have to be subdued. We can't get rid of them. I hear people talking about ego death, ego death, ego death. It's a part of you. Your ego is it's a part of you, but we can't let it rule you. We can't let it rule. It has to be subdued. Because of these natural impulses of individuality, you are certainly not free. You are under the control of the magnetic emotional bondage, both in your conscious. That's why they said, raise your consciousness, become more aware of who you are. And that's meditation does that. When you meditate and tap into the spiritual realm, you're in awe. When you touch that divine, come in contact with that divine consciousness, that universal mind, what we call God, your consciousness starts to expand. You know that there's more to life than what we see with the eyes, or what we were taught. That's 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 basically it. You live in the grip of the ego, which has given you individuality and bound you in fetters of emotional responses to life. So, as we go through this life, we can't just. I like when it says emotional responses because now I'm thinking before I even respond to other people, especially when they comment under my videos. At first, our ego wants us to attack, 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 attack. But some people is um, not in that awareness. So we don't need to attack like that. We need to put the ego and be like, okay, ego, calm down, calm down. Not everything has to be defended. Not everything has to be argued. You know, let's have a civilized discussion. And that's when you know that you have grown because, and that's when you know that you are ascending. However, the time comes for the sincere and ardent seeker, the person who gladly follows the path of Christ consciousness, the Christ way, when he meditates and penetrates the magnetic emotional areas of the brain. This is what meditation helps us to do, to receive enlightenment, which is impressed within the very topmost area of the brain under the skull. We get in a biology education teaching tonight. Okay. New cells are impressed with new knowledge. Is is with new knowledge. Oh, I never had this idea. Let me read this again. Let me read this. Let's read. I always talk about the physical, what happens to us spiritually when we are on the path of Christ consciousness, when we become more conscious, when we raise our vibration frequencies, vibration, and our consciousness. I always talk about the spiritual part, but let's read what happens to our body physically when we do that. Let's read what happened to our body physically when we do that. Okay. So, however, the time comes for the sincere and ardent seeker, the person who gladly follows the path of Christ consciousness, the Christ way, when he meditates and penetrates that magnetic emotional areas of the brain, the areas of self, the materialistic area of the brain, the area of the ego, to receive enlightenment, which is impressed within the very topmost area of the brain under the skull. New cells. So when you feel a little tingling up there at the top of your head, something's taking place. New cells are impressed with new knowledge. New cells are impressed with new knowledge. This is an ongoing process, and you will probably feel this opening taking place in your brain. Ah, so those things I've been thinking, I'm having a headache. I'm getting new cells. I'm getting new cells. Mm, mm. Okay, let me highlight this. This is when you start meditating. When you're coming into contact with Father, Mother consciousness. You now begin to operate more and more within the superconscious mind, which is in ever greater contact with Father, Mother, life consciousness, until the time comes when you can no longer bear the ego thoughts and feeling dominating your normal everyday consciousness, and you die the death of total self surrender. Total self surrender. And this doesn't mean a physical death. So when you get in those new cells, you probably, and this is, oh, you can feel what was happening to Christ when he was on earth. He totally surrendered the ego. Totally surrender the ego. Totally. You know, like, listen, I just want to experience the kingdom of God while I'm living in this earth. Totally. And then you'll be like Christ. Then you be like Christ. And if you still have the knowledge that we are to worship God, then you'll see that Christ was just our brother who came to help us in transcending this materialistic world. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Okay. When this happens, Father, Mother, Life Consciousness will fill your vision to the exclusion of all else. Wow. Just look at Christ and you'll see what this book is saying. What we read about Christ's ministry and how he was transformed. You will be entering the consciousness frequency of what I term the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is within you. This phase will be characterized by a gradual withdrawal from the kind of life you enjoyed before. Your thought life will become ever more purified, and you will find yourself responding to situation, events, and people in a more dispassionate way. Whilst you may be less emotionally warm or cold than before, you will now be in the first wavelengths of what you term unconditional love, and will do everything from the point of view of promoting the highest good of everyone, which means for their growth, nutrition, healing, protection, fulfillment of their legitimate needs within a system of law and order. And this is so important because I've been thinking about this. Um, because we live in a system where we were programmed to think um, helping someone is giving money, or when someone dead, you should cry. And just all right. Remember when Christ says, "Let the dead bury the dead," and people think it was just harsh. And he also said, "Oh, they said." Oh, my mother and father over there. Who are my mother and my father? You're my mother and father. So when you become enlightened, you see how Christ was direct. That's how you get, because you understand who everyone is. You might look at a homeless person like John and them when they went out. It's like silver and gold. I was like, none. I don't have silver and gold. But they knew that within the homeless guy, you have the God within you. You have the power within you to get up and walk and go get your money and go get whatever you want. They're not going to see what the world wants. When you become what we're talking about, overcoming the ego and this materialistic world, you have an idea of how everyone is, of how the source work, how divine consciousness, Father, Mother, God works, that everyone have a divine power within them to do things. So some people gonna look at you like, oh, he's as um oh, you're not emotionally loved, like you don't, and but you're gonna be so direct because you understand the universe. Everything you do is for the well-being of everyone. There's poems that I used to hear. You give a man a fish, you feed him for today, and you teach a man a fish, you feed him for life. So these are the way the divine life operate. And now it's coming to me. Now we see why our prayer don't answer, because we're begging, we're asking for things that we do, what that we already have. It's like you need, like you go into battle and you have a gun and somebody say, oh, here's a gun, and don't show you how to work. And you're there praying for a gun and praying for something, a weapon, instead of praying how to use this weapon that I have you know so that's why, oh, God, send me this, but send me a house, heal me. You have the power within you to heal yourselves. How do I heal myself? Teach me, guide me. This is going to be the new way of praying. We are not supposed to be praying on our knees, begging and begging and begging. Say, yes, universe, send me, how do I heal myself? How do I do this? But we've been taught someone must do it for you. Oh, it's something outside of yourself. You have no responsibility. And you have the divine power that created the sun, the moon, and the star, and this world within you. As much as we read, the kingdom of God is within us. So when you start raising your consciousness, vibrational energy, you don't see what we've been programmed to see. You see who people are. And you throw in money at and not that you shouldn't give them our food or if you have it, but you throw in money at people, at gods that have the power within them to do anything they could ask or think. You have to give them the knowledge. And that's what Christ's ministry was about. Look at the woman with the issue of blood. She didn't sit there waiting for Christ to, oh, listen, there's a power in this person passing, and I'm gonna get what I want out of it. Huh? Now look at the man at the well. I'm sitting there waiting for somebody to come and take him into the well so it can be healed. You know, you know that's the beggar's attitude. That's the that kind of attitude is not kingdom attitude. That's not who we are. We have everything within us to do anything and get anything that we want under divine law. Remember, under divine law, we can't just go out there and do anything. That because you said you have the divine power, you do anything. For every cause, there's an effect. What we reap, we sow. That's a divine law, and it mentioned it here. But I'm just saying, when you understand the universe, when you come in, when you get rid of ego, when you get rid of this flesh and the self, not get rid of them subdued, um, and then your divine self is in control. You're just gonna first thing gonna come to you is what Christ experienced while he was on earth, what he experienced while he was on earth. Yeah. This pity party for everybody, and oh, you have to take care of this people, you have to take care of that people. No, everyone, we got to show them how to do it. We got to show them how to live a fulfilling life here on earth. That's what our responsibility is, because we can't be hindered in we living that kind of life here on earth. We too have to find, we can't be hindered. We too have to find our divine life. So we busy taking care of everybody else except ourselves. And this is spiritual. That's not natural. You look at the birds, they keep their children until they're at a certain age where they can go on and fend for themselves. But they teach us dependency. Oh, my mother didn't do this. My father didn't do this. The church, the government, the this, the that. Everybody's responsible except us. Except us. Yeah. So if you see someone says, I'm raising my consciousness, I'm raising my vibrational frequency, and you go to them and be like, oh, give me $1 or whatever, and they said to you, listen, you have the God-given power within you. If you ask the universe for $1, ask the universe. Oh, don't be like, oh, that person is mean. That person is rich and asking for $1. No, he's trying to feed you for life. If he give you that $1, it's only feeding you for today. He's trying to feed you for life. And that's the time we're going into. This dependence upon other people other than yourself is over. It's over. All right. So yeah. So these are the things I love. And he mentioned this in chapter 1. This is what being coming into your divine self entails. And he mentioned it in a previous chapter. So let me just highlight this right here. And this is how you're going to know if someone has evolved. What times? Oh, I think I only did 2 hours tonight. So I only have half an hour. So it says, whilst you may be less emotionally warm or cold than before, some people going to think you're cold, you know, but you just have knowledge of the universe and you know how things work. But you're gonna have you can't be at this place without having love. That's the first thing. You just find yourself just loving everybody in spite of everything. So whilst you may be less emotionally warm or cold than before, you will now be in the first wavelengths of what you term unconditional love, and will do everything from the point of view of promoting the highest good for everyone. The highest good for everyone. That's what true love is. That's what unconditional love is. Not me, me, me. It's not what I give you. Okay? Which means for their growth, for their nutrition, for their healing, for their protection, and fulfillment of their legitimate needs within a system of law and order. That's what our Creator gives to us. And when you come into the knowledge of self, that's what you will in turn give to everyone. You will love more deeply than ever before, but there will be none of the human sentiment which can cause so many errors in communication and action. Exactly, because God is love. I love this. And some people, if their eyes are not open, they're going to see, they're not going to understand this. When you're trying to let them grow, they might think it other ways, but you love them more than than they know it. Yeah. So you will love more deeply than ever before, but there will be none of the human sentiment which can cause so many errors in communication and action. When you have gained true inner knowledge, you will be able to transcend the emotional baggage. You will be able to meditate and draw upon Father, Mother life, and you will feel new energy entering your system, giving you new buoyancy. You will laugh, be more playful, find happiness in little things, love the world, feel brimming gratitude for every little blessings entering your life. You will find the blessings multiplying in your experience and showering your daily path. Yes. Yes, this is when you have gained true inner knowledge. This is what you should expect. This is what you should expect. How does the person behave who has come through the freedom from the ego? Freedom from the ego. That's why we're here, to be free from the ego. Eventually, such a person is totally free of fear. Oh, fear is the biggest one. There will be absolute conviction that wherever he goes, he is protected. Although he may go through potential dangerous experience, he will emerge unscathed. He will know that he had no need of sword or gun to protect him. He is protected against every event, negative eventually, wherever he is. And the scriptures coming, though I walk through the valley of the shadow. You see what David is saying? These men were totally ego had no, an ego with David, but he got over it. He got over it, got over his ego, and entered the kingdom of God. That's what these men could say. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. All right. Oh, this is beautiful. You don't have to worry and binding up all these things, those, because you're well protected. You are protected. He will fear no sickness, since he will know that every built-in device in his system to keep him healthy is fully operative and working efficiently. Mm, mm. Yeah. This is our goal. This is the goal. This is what we're working towards. He will know that he will never want for the things needed to make his life happy and comfortable. Continually, he will praise and give thanks to Father, Mother Life for all things already received and will be received in the future. And that's what your prayer turns into, just thanksgiving. You know, when you don't have any time to ask for things, so other than direction, other than strength, you know, you just know that your needs is supply. He knows he will be guided to be at the right place in the right time. He also knows that he can ask for whatever his need, and the response will come swiftly. Practice this. If you find my channel, practice speaking to your higher self. Please practice speaking to the universe. Not in some, just like how you talk to your children or your best friend or your sister or your brother. Ask questions. Practice this. You know, I remember I used to be like, especially when I need answers, I'll be like, let me feel my left ear if that's true, or let me feel my right ear if that's true. Start as simple asking the universe to send you $1. Start as $1. The universe is here to serve us. It's here to serve us. We shouldn't be worried about anything. Practice talking to your higher selves. Remember this that you see in the mirror. It's not who you truly are. The aspect of you, um, that divine self, your soul is still there. The all knowing. Communicate with it. You have angels too, as they tell us in the Bible. Ask your guides. Ask them. Ask. Practice that. And then your faith, it will build your faith. It will build your faith. Okay. Come swiftly. Anything, question. And just be authentic. That's the only thing you have to do. Just be authentic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Ask question and just know. Your sister says believe. Just know that it's gonna happen. Oh, universe, send me $1. Just start low. Whatever question, and don't think you know how it's gonna happen. That's where we fail too. Oh, um, so and so's gonna give me $1. So and so or so and so. No, no. Just don't even care how it's gonna happen. Just know it's gonna happen. Just know it's gonna happen. But the asking will come from a spiritually um enlightened center, and he will never seek for anything selfishly, but will always pray for things within the context of what will be good for his environment, community, family, and friends. He will have an open mind, knowing that truth is infinite. And whilst he may know much, there is always a further dimension to explore. Yeah. We never know everything. We never know everything. This is what makes life in any dimension, even the celestial kingdoms of consciousness, so exhilarating and purposeful. In his daily life, the enlightened soul will wake up with a mind empty of all but praise and thanksgiving. Eventually, he will be aware of the chores awaiting him and giving thanks for the energy and the willingness to perform these tasks. He will go away to do them without any inner resistance or reluctance to start. As a result of this attitude to daily routine, he does not waste any energy on resistance in any shape or form. If there is a special reason to resist some suggestion or coercion, he will do so calmly and reasonably without magnetic emotional feelings of annoyance or rejection. He becomes a dispassionate observer, doing the right thing at the right moment. He possesses his soul in patience, waiting for guidance, waiting for the right doors to open, waiting for confirmations that any plans are indeed divinely willed into being through his mind and heart energy. Yeah, yeah. And this is something I was thinking about today. Why the Bible says, wait, those who wait. And we take it meaning different things. If you feel in your mind, listen, I'm at this job, and I'm just saying it from experience. I'm at this job. I need a better job, and you have to leave. Don't 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 get up and leave your job without something and says, "Oh, God will provide." He will, but we have to remember there's a law of what we reap, we sow. He will provide in some ways, but the best thing is to do is just wait till he send you another job. That's what waiting is. I've been at this, I know I had to move. I know, and at times I was impatient. But then I just know I didn't want to just leave and jump into something. Just, yes, you're going to leave, but just wait for him to send you something. Oh, maybe you have to move somewhere. I know I've got to move. I know I got to move. It doesn't mean that you just get up and move without a plan. You're gonna struggle in some way. Although he'll show up for you, you're gonna struggle. I'm telling you. And that's just a father. We gotta learn from our mistakes. You gotta learn. Even though he'll provide for you, but there's a lesson there you have to learn. Yeah, he's impressing in your spirit. Yeah, I gotta move. Yeah, I have to get a new job. This is not working out, you know. But let the right time. There's a time and a season for everything. When the right time comes, when it's the right time to move, it'll provide that home, it'll provide that job, it'll make out the way, and it will be well done, well done. All right. Just telling you, get ready to move, get ready. He becomes true man, manifesting father mother life consciousness. He also takes on the feminine characteristics of universal love and becomes the embodiment of intelligent love, our loving intelligence. And this is so important. This right here. Take on the feminine aspect. So, because remember, we've been living in a masculine world. And take on the feminine aspect don't mean you become another sex. You just tap into the feminine aspect of yourself. Love. You're more compassionate. You're more, um, I don't want to say emotional. Open your heart to love, and you know, that's that's the unity that Solomon talking about, the masculine and feminine coming together. So we take what we're doing are taking on the likeness of our creators, Father, Mother consciousness, and Mother love. Yeah, we're just coming. A unity is taking place. That's he. And now she takes on a more masculine characteristic. So we are women and we're more loving and we're more kind. But now we have to be a little more masculine in our authority. In our authority. So, because listen, in other realms, they're not separated as we are today, as we are in this physical realm. Masculine and feminine is in one body, but we were separated in this 3D realm. So this marriage has to take place. I just know that's what Solomon was talking about. The marriages of masculine and feminine come together, and that woman and the man, and yeah, this is what it is. I'm happy I saw it in here because I've been thinking this for a while. Okay, she takes on a more masculine characteristic of strength and strong sense of direction. Hmm. And that's not me. I do not have a good sense of direction. If it was MapQuest, Google Maps, I don't know how we would manage. Yeah, so we have to become more masculine, and the men has to embody the feminine aspect of themselves, more love, more compassion, and we have to show more strength and more strong sense of direction, not only on the roads but in our homes and in our daily life. If instruction is needed by a person, she will exhibit love and intelligence, and the person will be uplifted by his or her words. If healing is needed, she will demonstrate intelligent love, and the person will be healed. This is the goal to which I lovingly commend you. This is the goal which I lovingly commend you. The path of Christ consciousness is outlined in these letters. When you achieve it, you will rejoice and say it was worth every moment of the rocky and bumpy times which will now be behind you forever. You will be free to climb into higher dimensions, each one bringing you new experiences and joy. So that's the return you hear in the Bible, the return of Christ. You will become founders of a new order on earth, which will form the superhead of a new surge of spiritual evolution. And that's what the new earth, I think, is going to happen on the earth. We're going to evolve spiritually. When the spiritual evolution spreads the general masses in many areas to come, people will finally learn how to live in peace with one another. This is definitely what the new earth is about. Higher spirituality, the Christ consciousness. This is the area we're going into, where everyone got to uh, got to come into this knowledge of self and knowledge of who they are. This is the new earth. These things will surely come to pass, for the seeds of such a future have been sown within these letters. Whoever welcomes them into their consciousness and endures in faith will eventually find them blossoming in beauty, joy, and harmony, and bringing forth fruit in their daily lives. Believe, for I, the Christ, have spoken it. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, we're gonna stop here tonight. I know we're almost to the end of the Christ letters. Let me see what's next. Letter 7, we'll go into letter 7 next week. And this is the end of letter 6, and it's been wonderful tonight, just showing us what to expect. Whenever one, the path to Christ consciousness, the path to Christ consciousness, giving us an idea what must take place, not later, now. This is the return of the Christ. Christ is going to reign. This is reign on this earth, not as a physical person, but inside of us. Christ is going to reign. Christ is going to reign. This is what he was talking about. The Christ consciousness. And we see the beautiful things. We got a glimpse of the beautiful things that will happen when we are in our Christ consciousness. When we're in our Christ consciousness, it's beautiful. And we also got a glimpse tonight of how we should meditate, of how we should meditate. So we're thankful. I am thankful. Hey, thank you, sis. Thank you for everyone who's watching on Facebook and on YouTube. If you could give us a like or a heart, little thumbs up, so the algorithm will help us in spreading this message. As next week we'll be going into letter 7 of the Christ letters, and I hope everyone will join. Father, Mother Consciousness, we're thankful, thankful for this word that we've been given and given a glimpse of how to come in contact with that universal consciousness and how and what to expect with this Christ consciousness. I am so thankful. I am grateful for everything that we have read tonight. I am grateful for everyone that joined. My sister, I pray always for blessing upon her. I pray for all the listeners, everyone who came and hear this word. It's not by accident you sent them here. And those that will be hearing it at a later date, we are thankful, thankful tonight for everyone who've participated and heard this message tonight, as Christ has provided them for us at this time to hear the truth of his ministry, the truth of why he was here on earth. And we are grateful. We are grateful. We're thankful. Thank you. Thank you all. We give you honor. We give you glory. We give you praise. We thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sis. God bless. God bless. God bless everyone. And we'll see you next week.